Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Underground, the show that brings you the latest on social media platforms from around the globe. I'm Muntaha Muazzin. In today's show, a social media campaign launched in solidarity with Palestinian prisoner Hassan Karaja. U.S. war crimes in Iraq reflected in the work of art. Professor Stephen Hawking joins the academic boycott of Israel in solidarity with Palestinians. And finally, social media technologies in increase. We're starting today's show out of Palestine, where many youth in Palestine are trying to campaign against the Israeli occupation practices inside their country. But it seems that they end up in Israeli prisons without charges or trials. Today, we share the story of Hassan Karaja, the coordinator of the youth program in the popular campaign against the wall and settlements, and a previous member within the United Nations Youth Association. Karaja is a peaceful activist with no relation to any military activities in Palestine, yet detained by Israeli forces from his home in Ramallah and denied access to a lawyer. Karaja had a dream.
بحلم في عالم فيه فلسطين حرة، وبذكر العالم بفلسطين أيامه هي كانت حرة علشان يرجعوا يشتغلوا مع بعض، نشتغل مع بعض إن احنا نرجعها حرة.
Using social media, a campaign was launched in solidarity with Hassan Karaja. Facebook pages like Friends of Hassan Karaja in North America, Friends of Hassan Karaja in Lebanon were the platforms to protest against the detention. Also using the hashtag Free Hassan Karaja and hashtag Hassan Karaja, youth activists shared their thoughts about their friend Karaja. One tweeted, "He's one of us, simply a tweep who happened to love his country. You know where he's now or why?" Also, the page freedomforhassan.org started a campaign to sign a petition for the immediate release of Karaja. On their part, a group of youth activists working with Karaja sent him their greetings from the land of Palestine, where they used to plant it together.
بحب احكي لحسن انه انا كل مره بالتجوال ينون وبتجوال اليوم كنت كل شوي برفع راسي بطلع وين حسن، بدور على حسن، انه يعني في شيء ناقص، لازم يكون حسن موجود.
والله اشتقنا لك كثير واشتقنا لمس حياتك ولكلامك.
حسن، يعني كنت دائما اقول الشباب اللي ببلدكم لموهم وانت لا، شكله انت تخبر عنهم، فبعد باسبوع اعتقلوك، فانا كثير اسفه، كثير اشتقت لك كثير.
بطلب من ربي انه يفرج عنه للاخ حسن.
ان شاء الله تطلع بالسلامه، هينا بنزرع الارض، ان شاء الله تطلع تزرعها معنا المره الجاي.
الشعب عنده ثقه فيك حسن حبيبي. ارفع الحجر. تحيه لحسن كراجه.
وين حسن؟ كيف تحكي معاه؟
هو بده يسمعك، هاي نبعث له اياها. شو بتحكي؟ انا بحبك.
أنا بحبك.
شو كانك تحكي له انت؟
عشان بدي أخليه يحكي معي.
واحلى شباب فلسطين، واحلى شباب فلسطين، على السجن ودوها، على السجن.
To talk more about the social media campaign launched to free Hassan Karaja, we're joined via Skype by Ms. Farah Abdessater, an active member in the campaign. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
One of many similar cases of detention in Palestine, why did you choose to tackle Karaja's case in particular?
Well, to begin with, this is a very interesting question. Interesting because usually when the media tackles the case of Palestinian detainees inside the Israeli occupation prisons, we often tend to forget or to neglect the fact that there are over 4,500 Palestinian detainees inside those Israeli occupation prisons. So when the media usually covers one or two cases, for reasons of familial crisis or health issues, or even the personal history of certain detainees with the occupation. This is representative of more than 4,500 prisoners or more, ranging from children to women to disabled people to elderly, and of course innocent people.
Are these numbers verified?
Yes, those numbers are provided by Damir Center for Prisoners' Rights, for Palestinian prisoners' rights, and they are updated on a very frequent basis, mostly monthly or even less than monthly. Just today, for example, we heard about and read about the detention of 7 Palestinians in the village of Yabud in Jenin. 6 of them are students of universities. So when we speak about Hassan Karaja and the campaign of Hassan Karaja, we of course don't only mean Hassan. We go from his story to cover the story of all Palestinian detainees. Hassan Karaja is a young, promising Palestinian activist, a human rights defender, a Palestinian human rights and dignity defender, who's was able to.
Ms. Farah Abdel-Sattar, can you tell me why Israel seems not to tolerate such activism, even if these activists are not doing any military, let's say, practices, but they seem not to tolerate their actions? Despite that, Israel claims that it is a democracy.
Well, this issue raises 2 points. Actually, when we speak about Israel, we definitely mean the Israeli occupation forces, the Israeli apartheid system, the system of obscurity. So it is self-claimed democratic, or claimed democratic by states who support this colonial state. However, in truth, when you come to the real facts, judicial facts, social facts, economic facts, you will find that even inside the Israeli society, there's racism, xenophobia, even between Israelis themselves. So this state is really very far from being a state to begin with, and a democratic entity. Now, to raise the question of peaceful human rights activists, in the Goldstone report, which created quite a fuss in the Israeli society and pro-Israeli societies, the Goldstone report based a lot of its accusations and a lot of his reports on a hearing that was made in Geneva with the participation of what is called Israeli human rights associations, who are pro-leftist, the 3rd or 4th generation of Israelis against apartheid or against occupation.
Okay. Allow me to interrupt you here, but what about the petition that's done from freedomforhassan.org? Is there any promising effect to this petition?
Well, we are not the only. I mean, the petition is definitely the formal or the official campaign for the freedom of Hassan Karaja. However, we are not the only international organization or international action or even regional action that took place for Hassan's immediate release and freedom.
So you mean there are activists on the international level too?
Yes, there was a petition by Amnesty International and by different other organizations for demanding the same set of demands almost.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Farah Abdel-Sattar, for joining us today. You are an active member of the social media campaign to free Hassan Karaja. Moving on to another lead in today's show out of Iraq, where an Iraqi artist took the image of a girl in an orphanage and posted it on Facebook. The baby girl drew a mom on the ground and fell asleep with her. The image triggered many comments. Some people felt sorry for the little girl and wrote, this hurt my heart, poor child. Others accused the U.S. of bringing such misery to the people of Iraq, like U.S. should be persecuted for their war crimes and crime against humanity and crime against peace in Iraq. Moving on to another lead out of Syria, where a lot of analysis has been said about the latest Israeli airstrike on the country. Some details on what's going on there have been explained in this video. Take a look.
As in most of the major events that we're seeing unfolding right now, the real motives have nothing to do with the official justifications given by the government and the mainstream media. This has nothing to do with protecting the Syrian people. This much should be clear by the simple fact that NATO has backed these insurgents in spite of numerous atrocities, and is covering for them now even when they use chemical weapons. Nor is this about Iran attempting to build a nuke. Both the Mossad and the CIA have stated that Iran has yet to even decide to build a nuclear weapon, much less actually start. What this really comes down to is the fact that Iran is sitting on the world's third largest oil reserves, and it's not cooperating with the US and NATO agenda in that region. These attacks all have one goal in mind: to topple Syria and to draw Iran into an open confrontation, which would then give the US and NATO the pretext for an outright invasion. And make no mistake, that's what they want.
There will also be many, many side effects, all of them adverse, from an Israeli strike. But at the end of the day, if we don't get it done the way the administration's working on it now, which I totally agree with, then we ought to take them out.
Secretary Clinton.
Well, we're working hard. We're working hard.
I said at the end of the day may be next year. It will be next year.
If you want to learn more about this topic, please watch our video entitled The Road to World War III. Now, how this crisis will play out is impossible to predict. Human decisions are what will determine how far this escalates. As of yet, Iran and Syria have exercised considerable restraint in the face of these attacks, although it's uncertain how long they can afford to do so. If this aggression continues, there will be a breaking point. The reality is that the powers that be are intent on taking down Iran and Syria, and they're willing to go to any lengths, including outright deception, to make it happen. However, they can only do that as long as they have full control of the U.S. military. And this is their Achilles heel. If you want to influence the outcome of the situation, this is where you need to strike. As American citizens, you have access to U.S. military personnel. You can write letters to soldiers, you can send them videos, you can post in military forums. And if you live in a town with a military base, you can post posters and hand out flyers. If this is too much for you, then simply working to spread the message via Facebook and Twitter is a good start. All of this may seem like a long shot, but if even one high-level officer speaks out against the plans to go to war with Iran, it could have a ripple effect that prevents this from moving forward. It may be that you don't know anyone in the military directly. However, if you make a concerted effort to reach out to as many people as possible, you increase the chances that this information will reach someone who does know someone. But regardless of our chances, we have to try. A lot of innocent people are going to die if we fail. Sitting back and doing nothing is morally unacceptable.
Moving on to talk about the legendary physicist Stephen Hawking, who boycotted an Israeli conference in solidarity with Palestinians. It is the first time that such a courageous act comes from a person who's not in politics and whose main interest is science. The incident triggered many comments on social media platforms. Some users praised the move and wrote, "Another non-Arab and non-Muslim taking a stand. Well done, Prof. Hawking." Another added, "It's a massive milestone for BDS, boycott, divestment and sanctions movement against Israel." Even though some commentators slammed Professor Hawking for boycotting Israel, an online poll by The Guardian shows that 62% voters agreed on this step. Now we will stop for a short break and then we will be back. Stay tuned.
Pollution and climate change, medicine manipulation, genetically modified food, the destruction of wildlife, and corporate exploitation. These are all part of a new terrorism threatening our future.
Eco-terrorism, global awakening to a world under threat.
Welcome back. Moving on to some leads out of the technology world. Who wouldn't want a home controlled by voice commands? In the coming video by Doug Gregory shows us this voice-controlled home, which was created using a Nexus 4 smartphone, a handful of plugins, and some cheap home automation equipment. Take a look.
Turn on the bar lights. Okay, that's too bright. Turn off the bar lights and turn on the ceiling light and lamp. Turn all the lights off. Now light it up. Shut it down.
Shutting down.
I'm home. Turn on the TV power. I want to watch a movie. Switch to XBMC. Pause. Link the lights. Play.
More technology leads, a tale of what it feels like when Facebook comes and it changes things around again. A Facebook update in real life by extremely decent film. Take a look.
Hello. Welcome home, Nick. Your new home update is ready for viewing.
Are you serious? I just got used to the way you had it before.
Just let me know when you're ready to begin the tour.
Okay.
As you can see, we've made some changes to improve the functionality of your living room environment.
Wait, no, where's the other half of my couch? What is this chair thing?
We've decreased the size of your television to make room for your new bookcase.
No, I had a 60-inch TV. What? Couldn't you just put the...
Just let me know when you're ready to move on.
Okay.
Check out your new bedroom.
How did you guys get in here?
Friends and friends of friends now have better access to you through your new privacy door.
No! I said in the last update that I didn't want anybody in here. Get out. Now. I haven't talked to you in 6 years, and I don't know who you are. Will you stop resetting my privacy settings every time?
I see you found your new privacy window. It allows for anyone on Earth to see what you're up to, whenever they want.
No! I said I don't want anything like this. Will you please...
Just let me know when you're ready to move on. Finally, we've combined your dining room and social media center. Now it's way easier for your friends to keep you in the know.
Nick, hi. Can you come to my birthday party? Nick, would you vote for my brother in his contest? Nick, will you come to my improv show tonight?
No, I'm not going to any of those. Stop it. Is this tour done? Because I'm getting sick of all these... What is that thing in my kitchen?
We've taken your cat and replaced it with a dog.
No! No!
We've also changed your walls around.
These are just ads! What?
If you look here...
No! We're ending the tour!
Okay.
Moving on, many activists suffer their inability to target certain people and increase their audience. Rick Brooks shows us how to grow Twitter followers by using free service called Paperly.
For those of you who don't know, Paperly is a free service that helps you curate content from Twitter, Facebook, RSS feeds, and Google Plus into an online newspaper. For today's example, I'm going to use the Agents of Change Digital Marketing Conference that I recently announced. The conference is going to focus on how businesses can use search, social, and mobile to grow. There's a physical conference here in Maine, as well as an online virtual component that anyone can attend. I'm looking to build awareness for the conference, so here's what I did on Twitter. I created an Agents of Change account called Agent Conference. Because of the Maine connection, I followed a number of local people that I follow from my The Rich Brooks account, who are marketers or run businesses. I then went over to Paperly and created a new account for Agents of Change. Although this paper has already been created, let me show you how I did it. Click on Start Your Paper. Then choose a title. Now there are a lot of ways to add a stream which populates your paper. For today's purpose, I want to start by including everyone I follow. I also want to include people who tweet about the topics the conference is about, search, social, and mobile. So I'm going to include some hashtags. These will include tweets from people that I don't necessarily follow, but use those specific hashtags or keywords. I'm going to focus on SEO, social media, and mobile. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit Publish. Once the paper is created, I can create an editor's note with a call to action. However, the most important thing is to click the megaphone. That tweets out your paper, including mentions of your contributors. Why is this so important? Because it lets people know that you're following them, shows up in their mentions column, and increases your visibility. This works for both people you're already following and new people who are tweeting out the hashtags or keywords that you included. And then I can go back to my Twitter feed and search for mentions of my daily paper. I can see that people are already retweeting the Agents of Change when they're included in their paper, sharing that link with their network. And I can look at the people who have been featured, and I see that most of them have already started following the Agents of Change account back, increasing our visibility and reach with the people who care about the things we want to talk about: search, social, and mobile.
In other news, in an effort to provide abused children with a safe way to reach out for help, a Spanish foundation called the Aid to Children and Adolescents at Risk created an ad that displays a different message for adults and children, but at the same time. Take a look.
And our foundation manages an anonymous and confidential telephone line to attend children and teenagers under a risk situation. As a result of International Day Against Child Abuse, we launch a message for those once suffering any kind of abuse. A message exclusively for them, hidden from adults' eyes. The outdoor uses a lenticular to assemble two images, the one aimed at adults and the other aimed at children. The lenticular allows you to see one image from one angle and a different image from another angle. From the average height by age, we can determine what part of each image will be seen by each person. In this way, we find an area only visible by children under 10. A message only for children. And a warning for adults.
Now, although many saw the intelligence in this idea, others criticized the publishing of the video on YouTube. For example, one commented, "While I respect your hypothesis, I doubt that a short person would have the ability to take advantage and abuse someone." Another commented, "Great idea, but if everyone knows, wouldn't the purpose be defeated?" And finally, "Probably shouldn't have told people this. Now everyone knows what the signs look like, and can just press down to see it. Now, humans and ants are the only species in the ecosystem that declare war on their own race. Here is an animation video created by Morhat Youssef on the devastating impact of armed conflict and wars on human beings. Take a look.
ضروري طلعتك هلا. مو شايف البني ادمين مذبحين بعضهم؟ بالكسر لك شيء.
ألف كلمة الشهيد ولا يقولوا أب حبش موت عيلته من الجوع يا حبيشي.
And finally, how to piss off every New Yorker. A 36-second YouTube video by BuzzFeed. Take a look.
Got a moment of your time, excuse me?
Gotta go.
First of all, it smells terrible. Everyone's mean. The culture peaked in the 80s. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have one moment of your time.
This was all on Underground for today. Our thanks for watching. Bye-bye.